Hi everybody, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. So I want to, I'm going to use Apathetic Faxx video because it's the most comprehensive that I can find, and I want to react to um, Erica, Amberlynn's ex, Erica, and her wife Brittany, and this whole situation. And I'm going to warn you ahead of time. Some of you are not going to like what I have to say because some of it is Erica saying, Brittany's not to blame, leave Brittany alone, Brittany shouldn't get any hate for it. And I rather disagree with that. And I will explain that as the video goes on. So this is going to be a long one, so let's get started. And I also want to say, I know what Amberlynn is. I know she's a liar. I know she has done some horrible things. I know that she's a master manipulator. I don't believe a lot of what she has to say. And she did do a live, and I was watching the replay of the live, and a lot of the stuff she's saying, in my opinion, Erica and Brittany already said it. But I'm going to have some things to say about that too. That's a really long live stream, so I might have to cut it up because I don't want to react to every little thing. But this video, I have a lot of stuff to talk about, so we're just going to go through it. And of course, this is all just my opinion. It doesn't matter, but I do have some strong feelings on this issue, so we're going to get right into it.
All that said, this is how it all went down.
Okay, hello, Apathetic Faxx. This is Erica. I do want to say how this all started was me and Brittany were sitting in bed, and we saw one of Amberlynn's posts talking about masculine women. And Brittany looked at me, and I looked at her, and I was like, what if I messaged her? Right? So our first message was, I was like, I think I said like masculine women ? Or something like that. And she messaged me back, and we were messaging for a while, back and forth, just like talking. And then, of course, it started becoming a problem between Brittany and I, because I was like, apparently, I guess her true colors were showing, whatever. She did ask if I was with anyone. And so I had talked to Brittany, and I was like, what should I tell her? And Brittany was like, tell her that like we're still technically married, but that, we aren't like technically together, but we're like by law.
Okay, I want to address this real quick. So Brittany and Erica chose to troll in the beginning, chose to troll Amberlynn. So I love how Brittany's sitting there like, I'm the victim, this happened to me. But she facilitated, or at least took part in the facilitation of this happening. Okay, she can't really get pissed off when, she let this happen. Like, no, she didn't expect there to be real feelings occurring, but she helped make it happen. She pushed it into that direction. Maybe that wasn't her intention, but she did anyway. She was trying to be cute and funny with the troll. And I also have an issue with this trolling thing with this Brittany person, because she's supposed to be some kind of therapist. I'm not sure what kind she is, but maybe her clients need to know the immature behavior she participates in online, because I know that if I was looking for a therapist and I found out they did shit like this, she wouldn't be getting a dime of my money. That's for damn sure. Because this is disgusting behavior. Now, I'm not excusing Amberlynn for anything ever. I know she has been a horrible person to all her past exes. And after this, we know everything to be true. No matter what Amberlynn says, we know this stuff backs up all the claims we've heard in the past. But for Brittany to sit there and act like she's all innocent. No, honey, you facilitated this. Your wife asked if she should, and you were like all on board with it. You could have just said, no, no, don't do that. We don't want to hurt people. Now, I know people are like, well, Amberlynn deserves to be hurt. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Let Amberlynn be Amberlynn. You got to live with your own actions and what you do. And I notice a lot in this because I did watch this, but we'll probably hit on some more in the future. But this Erica person feels shitty about the cheating, but doesn't feel shitty about the trolling. That's what I get out of it. She started it and the wife co-signed it. So both of them are to blame, in my opinion. For any impropriety that occurred, both of them are to blame. Brittany should have said, no, don't do it. But instead, she decided to be cute and funny. There's nothing cute and funny about trolling someone on the internet and then making them catch real feelings and then, just messing with people. It's rude. It's cruel. And that a therapist would do that, girl, you need help. You need to go back to training. It's disgusting. You are disgusting, Brittany.
All still married. So I gave her that story and rode with it for a while. And
oh yeah, and the fake story. Now leave it to Amberlynn to buy it. You know what I mean? That is actually a common story cheaters give potential mistresses anyway. And I know a lot of them catch on to it. I had a friend who was like, well, I met a guy, but he's married. And he said, but we don't really get along. We're actually getting a divorce. And I'm like, pull the plug on it. And we've been right every time. They're always shitty men who are seemingly happy, who are just trying to pull something. And it's the same thing in this situation. Just because they're lesbians doesn't change. It's still a marriage.
Of course, I do deserve this backlash that I'm getting because I trolled her
Brittany
for a while. And
I firmly believe Brittany deserves backlash. I absolutely, because again, she facilitated this. She co-signed it.
And just kind of like get like a kick out of it, whatever. It's Amberlynn Reid. I wasn't a big fan of her for a very long time.
It's Amberlynn Reid. It's not like she's a person. And again, I know Amberlynn Reid has done some pretty crappy things. Okay, I understand that. But these people are all in their 30s. Like, grow the hell up. You're married playing games like this? Jesus. Excuse me.
And she does know. I openly told her, Amberlynn, that, I used to watch her and I disliked her extremely at one point. And of course, she wasn't too fond of that. So the conversation continued and then it got, kind of out of hand. And so also, I'd like to point out that while I was talking to Amberlynn, she was talking to a girl named Danielle that was also married. I don't know like the full details behind that whole situation. I just know that I was kind of like the back burner person of.
Well, Danielle probably fed her the same story. Oh, we don't really get along. We're separated, which it's a red flag, whether it's straight or lesbian or gay. It is a red flag. Hold on, I let a kitty in. Come on. Hi, hon.
Of this whole triangle that she had going on. Like she was talking to another girl named Abby, and then she was telling me about her friend named Alexis, and then she was telling me about Danielle and how she was crazy over her and blah, blah, blah. And then we kind of just like started talking more and more and more. And then, my wife was like, hey, I don't want you talking to her anymore. So there was a time where we didn't talk, but shortly after did start talking again. I'm not a good person for like doing this. And I know that I'm not. And, whenever me and Amberlynn supposedly like broke. Okay. I'm backtrack. I'm going too far ahead. Just give me a second. So we kept talking. She started becoming really possessive. She started, talking about Brittany, how I always choose her first and that I won't be her.
And this is where I'll get on Amberlynn a little bit. Imagine a married person choosing their wife first.
Girlfriend, and I wouldn't choose her. And so on, I think it was like Valentine's Day or whatever, she was giving me a hard time about it. And it more so felt forced. And that was through text. So if she tries to show those texts, you'll see that that was a forced agreement for me and her to be in a relationship. And so I was like, so what would this?
Amberlynn said she doesn't delete anything, and I know she doesn't want to, but she should release all the text so we can all see and have all the information we need to form an opinion. Because if everything Amberlynn says in her live is true, it may help her, like reputation wise. Probably not, because people are gonna hate her no matter what, but she should just release it all. Now, and Amberlynn was wondering why they came out and did this. Well, it's because to get the attention off of or to shift the attention off of Tommy, and to prove that Tommy isn't Valentine. That's why Amberlynn exposed that information. But when she did it, she was like, well, she was married, and she was acting like this person had lied to her from the beginning, and that she thought she was single the whole time. You know what I'm saying? That's why, one of the reasons why I think they came forward. So, to clarify that they weren't keeping it a secret that Erica was married. No, don't get over there.
Relationship be? And she was like, just more loyal, more communication, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, I can deal with that, whatever. And that was where it came about. We continued talking, and things got more and more in depth with each other, and I was actually starting to second guess like her as a person. Maybe the haters are wrong, maybe she isn't a bad person, because the side that I saw of her wasn't the person that I saw on YouTube. Like, the side she gave of me was different.
That was
so I don't know if that's like manipulation or if that's math.
I think it was manipulation and performative, because she gets these people, she love bombs these people and gets them into these relationships, and then she ABUSES is them.
Asking, I don't know. I'm not very good with psychology, even though I should be well-rounded in it. I'm not. And things got out of hand. We said things we shouldn't have said to each other. I never said anything bad about my wife to her. That's one thing that really made her upset, was like, if anything, like, my wife had switched jobs, and she tried to, like, Amberlynn tried to say, oh, your wife's at home more, because she took some time off, and Amberlynn was upset because my wife was home more and I couldn't talk to her much. And she said, oh, well, she quit her job because she's being a baby. And I was like, no, she quit because
Amberlynn's a baby. Amberlynn is helpless and a baby, and I don't like any of the people in this scenario. I really have problems with all of them. So for people that don't understand that, your head's probably going to spin.
It was two different conversations, but basically we was saying, like, she's taking a bigger pay raise, and a better opportunity. It's not because she's being a baby. That's not who she is. And it would upset her that
Amberlynn doesn't know what it's like to work. I mean, she had a couple jobs, but like not hardly.
Always like talked about, like, if my wife came into conversation, I was talking about her in a more positive light. And my wife is not some crazy person that Amberlynn is saying she is. Anyways, I'm getting off subject here. My apologies. So we would talk. We FaceTime anytime.
She's not a crazy person. She's just a sociopath, and she's a therapist. Again, I'm wondering what kind of therapist she is, because that is just ridiculous that she would be like, yes, I'm a therapist. Let's troll somebody on the internet. Let's troll an emotionally unstable, severely depressed, mentally ill, super morbidly obese woman. Let's do that. A therapist agreed to do that. I'm going to harp on that a lot.
Time I looked off, like I was looking at my phone, she would always question me. She was like wanting me to send screenshots of like my inbox and my text messages and stuff, and like who I'm talking to and things of that nature. Like she was kind of becoming possessive and she was questioning me all the time. So, she was like, why don't you leave the house, go to the store or something so you can call me? And I'm like, no, like my wife has 360. So me and my wife have 360 and we know where each other are at any given time. So,
That's obsessive right there to have 360. Me and Eric don't have it. We don't need to know where each other is constantly. That's it. That seems very unhealthy to me. Are you sure your marriage is okay? Because that seems very unhealthy to me.
It's not like I'm running around doing crazy stuff. So she made the comment saying, I need you to put me on Life 360. So I was like, no, not going to do that. A couple weeks go by and she's still pestering me about it. And I agreed to it, and like an idiot. And she was Googling every address I would go to, finding out. Yeah, sorry, I am nervous, very nervous, because I'm the piece of crap in this situation. Like my wife should not be getting any of this backlash. If anybody should get backlash, it should be me. I just don't want, like, yeah,
Again, I disagree. Your wife absolutely should be getting backlash for her part in the trolling. Okay. Again, I know I said this already, but she helped facilitate it. She co-signed it, and it went in a way she didn't want it to go. But, you've got to take responsibility for your part in it. You really do.
freaking freaked out by the Kiwi Farm people and Reddit and all these haters. Like, hey, I was one of them and I did something stupid and I misjudged her and I was, I don't want to say she casted a spell on me, but she it was almost like manipulation at its finest. And I will say,
it was total manipulation. I mean, we've been saying for years, if she's been in Hater Nation, she knows that Amberlynn is a master manipulator.
Hey, that woman is a professional. There was times where I was like questioning my reality, like what the fuck is going on, because of the things that we would talk about. Yeah,
okay, so we're gonna pause this right here. But there's not gonna be a break in the video. I have to go do some work, but I'm gonna get right back on. Okay, let's continue.
That was the gist of our relationship. We FaceTimed, we talked, we sent pictures, whatever. She knew where I was. She asked where I was going. She was always questioning me. She would ask me, when was the last time I kissed my wife? I need to tell her every time I kiss my wife. I need to tell her every time I have sex with my wife. Because she eventually found out that me and my wife were not like technically married, that we were married and we did have an active relationship and that we have been together for a long time. And that we were, affectionate, everything like that. And she was upset about it, of course, but, she forgave me. And, I was upset for like hurting her feelings, of course, because, she cried about it. She was hurt by it. And, people crying upsets me. And so I was like, I'm a big piece of shit. I'm still a big piece of shit for all of this. And if I could take it all back, I would.
Now, I am glad that she's accepting accountability, but I think Brittany still needs to take accountability for her part in this. Because I don't care what anyone comes at me and says, well, Brittany this and Brittany that, and Brittany was a victim. No, as I've said, she facilitated this. And then when it turns into more than what she wanted it to turn into, then she gets mad. So no, yeah, she has the right to get mad if her spouse is screwing around on her, but you can't really get mad when you're part of the reason it happened, when you pushed it. They thought, ha ha ha, it's going to be so funny to trick all Amberlynn, and then it turned into something more.
Okay. I don't know what type of backlash I'm going to get for giving you all this information. I'm hoping that, this gets the people off of my wife's back. If anything, like, cuss me out, call me a piece of shit, blare my picture on Reddit, anywhere you want to do. But I don't want my wife getting backlash for this. Me and her moved past this,
She deserves
actually, June
backlash
9th.
for a part of it.
I'm sitting, this is the time frame.
His wife or her wife bears some of the responsibility. So accept the responsibility and admit that you're kind of a piece of shit for trolling. And for a therapist, whatever kind of therapist you are, that's disgusting behavior. You're what, in your 30s? Disgusting, hideous behavior.
Where I'm kind of like trying to push Amberlynn away, like, not really talking to her much, I was trying to like let her down easy. And
I just think it's gross that Erica's taken all the blame without saying, and the wife is sitting there letting her, when she should say, well, I was responsible for the trolling too, and we shouldn't have done that. And no, she's not sorry. She doesn't acknowledge her part in this.
And like not being like, okay, we need to end things, because I tried to multiple times, and she would like literally FaceTime me and show her whole face crying, her makeup. She would send me crazy videos of her and songs and like trying to get my attention, whatever, saying I made her triggered. She has abandonment issues, and she was begging.
And that Amberlynn's always blaming mental health. She never really takes responsibility because, she's wrong too. I'm not letting Amberlynn off the hook. She's wrong too. She should have caught the red flags at the very beginning and never let it get as far as it did.
Begging for me not to end things. And she claims that I was like cheating on her, but she was wanting me to give her information about my sex life with my wife. And of course I didn't tell her every single time. Like I didn't feel like that was necessary at all. But when she would ask, I'd tell her, yeah. So it was, this whole thing is basically, and it should have never happened. So continuing, I'm trying to push her away. She's messaging me every day and blah, 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 blah. And like, I tried to make things up to like get her to kind of like back off, whatever. She messaged me on the day my uncle died, and my uncle like died, and I had a mental breakdown in the Taco Bell parking lot, getting food. I'm having a mental breakdown, and I told her like, hey, I just found out my uncle died. Like, I need some time. I needed time. And I told her like, hey, this is a whole ordeal for me. Like, I'm trying to figure things out with the family, figure things out with this, that, and the third. And then she's wondering, she's more concerned about if I miss us, like me and her. She's like, do you miss us? Do you miss me? Or
Amberlynn is, and I don't want to be mean, but she is kind of pathetic and desperate, and and she says, "It's my BPD, it's my BPD." There comes a point where you just got to stop blaming mental illness, because mental illness is not an excuse for bad behavior, and you just have to, because you still know right from wrong. So I don't know. And honestly, I don't feel sorry for Amberlynn. I just see where everyone, Amberlynn, Erica, and Brittany, are to blame in this situation. And normally I wouldn't blame the spouse of a cheater, but I'm not blaming her for the cheating, but I'm blaming her for helping it start, for facilitating it, because she, like I said before, she co-signed the trolling, and then it turned into something else. It's almost as if the universe was saying, all right, you want to troll somebody? Let's kick it up a notch. You know what I mean?
Are we still together? And I'm like, I don't think that, we should do this anymore. Basically, like, I did give her the whole spiel, like, oh yeah, this isn't right. You don't deserve this. And, no one else deserves this. She said, okay, friends it is. So I don't know who broke up with who, I basically
And that's inappropriate too. If you're breaking up with someone and they're married, it's over. There's no friendship. There's nothing. It has to be over.
told her like I couldn't like do this anymore. And so she's saying that she broke up with me. That's fine. She can say whatever she wants, but I wanted to get my story out to you at least. Yeah, I watch your stuff. Whenever I used to watch your stuff a lot. I tried to stay off of YouTube since this whole like crap has been going on. After that, she would not stop messaging me. Like from June 9th up until what was it, June 23rd?
16th.
Oh no, June 16th. She would not.
I think it was sometime between the 16th and 23rd.
Oh no. We broke June 9th. My uncle died. We broke up on the 16th. So I was trying to ignore her and kind of like let it die out. Let someone else find her. Let someone else find her. Let someone else get her attention. Sorry.
So you're a grown ass adult. Why didn't you just do that? Just ignore her. Just let her go away.
June 15th, we were talking and, that's whenever things ended. June 9th was when my uncle died. So June 15th, whatever, we broke up. So she keeps messaging me every day for like the next week. And me and Brittany are in the bedroom, trying to watch a movie. And like, I told her I'm watching a movie. And this is kind of like where, the truth came out. And Brittany was like, who are you talking to? And I told her, I said, Amberlynn won't leave me alone, basically. Will not leave me alone. I was trying to give her every excuse I could to not talk to her anymore. And she wasn't budging.
Block her when she tries to call you on other numbers. If you don't recognize the number, let it go to voicemail. I don't know. I guess I've always been really good at ignoring people I don't want to talk to. So
she was trying to, I don't know when this other person came in the picture that is currently whatever she's with. I don't care. I just know that there is nothing exciting about me and there's nothing exciting about my wife as far as YouTube is concerned. So please, yes, I'm the biggest cheating piece of shit spouse on YouTube right now. You can go ahead and say that.
no, not
please, leave my wife out of this. She did know partially it was supposed to be a troll. It was supposed to be a joke. It was supposed to be this, that, and the third. But I fell for the stupid. I was stupid and I fell for the bullshit. I regret it majorly. Oh, as far as flirting, basically saying flirtatious stuff to each other, things like that. Basically cheating, having a emotional cheating relationship. Okay, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit as far as how August 1st came about. Whenever the whole agreement of the relationship happened, she's like, well, we need to meet, and I was like, well, when? And she's like, pick a date. And I didn't pick the date. She ended up picking the date. It was August 1st, of course. And she was wanting me to move in and things like that. And so that's how August 1st came about was, she thought that I was going to leave. And I did lead her on and basically say, yeah, I'll be there August 1st. Sure, I'll be there August 1st. Because she asked every single day. It was if it wasn't every single day, it was every week, multiple times a week. And things got out of hand. If I didn't talk to her she was clocking me too. If I didn't message her back, she would say, where'd you go? What have you been doing the last 6 minutes? And I'm 6 minutes. So I started being stern with her. I was like, you're not gonna time me. This is not what we're doing. We had fights, we had arguments and things like that. And, we had arguments about my wife. We had arguments about, my friends. And apparently I made her stop talking to her friends. No, she was always telling me about the things that her friends were saying to her. So Alexis, that's a whole nother story. Abby, that's a whole nother story. Abby is literally 22 years old and was mean to Amberlynn and said mean things to her. Oh, and also, Apathetic's Faxx, the friends that visited her was not Alexis. It was not Tommy, whoever. It was Eric and Ricky. Eric and Ricky are the two friends that was at her apartment because,
after what she did, after how
I knew.
Faxx.
So back on track. Abby was one of the girls she was talking to, and then they became good friends. And she was always telling me the disrespectful shit that Abby would say to her. And I'm like, why are you friends with this person? You know, I wouldn't even give them the time of day. And then Alexis, she said a bunch of things about Alexis, like personal things about Alexis. I don't want to share it, but like, homegirl thinks Alexis is her best friend in the world. Alexis thinks Amberlynn is her bestest friend in the world. Well, guess what? Like, Amberlynn talks about Alexis to me, saying she gives me the ick and the things she says to me, blah, 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 blah. So I didn't make her stop talking to anybody. Amber made that decision on her own. And she even said on her, she even told me, like, she becomes like obsessed with people that she's with, and she tends to cut out her friends. I didn't make her stop talking to anybody. So this 18-minute phone call that you're going to
I believe that because we've seen it happen.
be getting, it's 18 minutes and 32 seconds long of a discussion between Amberlynn and my wife on speakerphone. She was trying to tell my wife that I'm crazy and that, she was wearing rose-tinted glasses, which, that was a whole ordeal. Both of us were. It was a fucked up situation, and it was an emotional cheating relationship, and it should have never fucking happened. I went with it, and it was stupid, and I regret it, and I wish I never did it. And of course, I'm not perfect, but I'm not going to sit here and be trolled about something that isn't true. Like, I'm telling my story and I'm being honest now so that things don't get turned around more than what they already are. And Amberlynn is a liar. I will confirm that. She's lied. I don't know how long this Tommy person was in her life.
We know that. We know there was a lot of overlapping of girlfriends and stuff. And I mean, I think we all know that Amberlynn is a liar. We all know that.
I don't really care, honestly. But I wanted to get my side out to you. That was the gist of it. It was an emotional relationship that should have never happened. She tried to get me to move in. I acted like it was going to fucking happen instead of me. I was being and basically giving her false hope. And I should have womaned up and been like, no, like, it's not going to happen. I'm staying with my fucking wife. Like, why would I give up what I have here and come living in a 1-bedroom apartment with you whenever all I hear?
It must be a weak marriage. That's what I get out of it. I don't care if they've been married for 9 years. It must be a weak marriage. You don't just get, like, it's one thing to get in a physical relationship with somebody, but if emotions really get involved, it's, there's a problem. There's a problem in your marriage. I feel.
Here in the background is sirens and people hollering in the streets. Like, that's not where my peace is. And it was like I was too deep to get out, that I had to get my own wife to help me. Like, that's where it got to with her.
That's ridiculous.
Also, I'd like to add that the day after the first conversation between my wife and Amberlynn, like, as far as like, you need to leave Erica alone. The day after, I blocked Amberlynn's number, blocked her on everything, deleted her number. My stupid ass even like deleted the phone number and everything like that. And so she messaged me on a fake number the next day because she thought that my wife took my phone. That's the story my wife gave her, but I was really sitting right there during the whole phone call. Apparently, like, she told Amberlynn, yeah, I took her phone. We were at the pool, but we weren't. We were in the bedroom trying to watch a movie. So, she messaged me the next day and said, hey, it's Amberlynn. Your wife called me. I didn't know what else to say. She cornered me. I told her everything, and
don't any of these people know how to hang up their phones? They just, good day, sir. Just saying.
that she wanted me to unblock her number and call her and then reblock it, basically. Like, like pretty much, hey, block my number, but unblock it whenever we can talk. So that's what, I didn't respond to that. I should have screenshot it and sent it to Brittany, but I just wanted it to be over with. I didn't think that things would get blown out of proportion like this, like, especially like with my wife. Like, she is not the one to blame here, because she didn't know about the, like, 95% of the
You already know how I feel about that.
situation. Like, she knew, like, for, the first little bit of it, because we were trolling her. Honest to God, trolling her. And I was like,
Should have never
I
done
wasn't
that.
trying to get money from her. I never asked her for money.
I still say Brittany's partially to blame for that, and she should get backlash for that, because if they didn't start the troll, none of this other stuff would have happened. It wouldn't have happened.
So that she said about with money, or if she said anything about money, I never asked her for money.
And I'll tell you what I think. I think, like, Erica asked, Brittany, hey, should we do it? Should we troll her? But I think Erica's intention was to start an emotional relationship, flirt, do whatever. That's what I feel. I feel that was Erica's intention to begin with. But as far as Brittany's concerned, it was a troll. That's just my opinion.
Didn't talk to her about money, didn't care to. It was just, it should have been something, it was stupid. It was a huge mistake. It was dumb. If I could take it back, I would. It's people are definitely, like, blowing things way out of proportion. I just don't want my wife getting drug into this in a negative manner.
She started. She allowed it to start.
She didn't know. And there is more to Amberlynn than people know. Of course, she does, like, use her BPD as a crutch.
She sure does.
She says, every time she got upset with me, or if I didn't respond in a timely manner, she would like basically say I'm triggering her BPD and things like that. So I basically felt like majority of the time, like, not necessarily a gun to my head, but
that's one of the reasons that Amberlynn has to get into some kind of mental health program, because whenever you're triggered or you have a mental health issue, you can't blame other people. You are responsible for your own emotions, and you have to get into therapy to learn how to handle that. And she's not made one move to get into therapy since she moved. And if I've ever seen anyone in need of a therapist, it's her, and probably this Brittany person.
Making me feel sorry for her. And, at one point I was like, oh, maybe she really isn't a bad person and people just make her out to be, even though I should have damn well knew because of, her past. But I mean, everyone makes dumbass decisions. As you can see, I made one. This was fucking stupid. Honestly, like I said earlier, when I say Amberlynn is a pro with her words and how she breaks things down and how she gets in people's heads. I dealt with criminals for close to 10 years. I worked in a maximum custody prison, and I dealt with inmates, and I was not manipulated by not a damn one of them. As far as doing anything I shouldn't have done. She has a way with manipulating people, and I've never in my life been manipulated like this before, ever. And yeah, I have no excuse. Again, like, I'm going to keep saying, like, this was a bad decision.
She is a skilled tactician when it comes to manipulation. I mean, I don't think I would fall for it, but, there are some people who are, different, who want to believe the best and will believe the best. And, it's best to be like me and just think everybody has some kind of hidden evil agenda. I don't really think that way. I'm sorry.
decision. I'm stupid. Make a meme out of me if you want to. I don't care. Just leave my wife out of it is all I'm asking.
And this is me, Brittany.
Okay, so we're going to get back to this. Brittany's cute, but, you know, she has to accept part of the blame, I feel. Okay, here we go.
AKA the crazy ex-wife. So I had noticed that Erica basically had her phone glued to her forehead for months. And, she does a lot of Olympic weightlifting. And I thought, okay, well, she's editing. She spends a lot of time in the gym. Never really thought much about it until, she mentioned that we were watching a movie. And I looked over and I seen like paragraphs upon paragraphs. And she switched her phone off real fast. And I was like, no, who are you talking to? And then, it came out that she was still talking to Amber. I had thought that had ended months ago. And yeah, we together initiated a troll. And that's what we were doing, just to see if we could get some kind of reaction back, some kind of message. And that's as far as it was supposed to go. I have since read through everything that was on Erica's phone, and I am, I'm a therapist. That's what I do. And when I tell you that this is one of the most dangerously manipulative people that I have ever met, Amberlynn is one of the most dangerously manipulative people I have ever met.
That's true. I mean, I would agree with that too. I think she is dangerously manipulative. But let's talk about Brittany. What about her? Being a therapist and saying, hey, yeah, let's troll a severely depressed, mentally ill, super morbidly obese woman for kicks. She's a therapist. I want to know what kind of therapist she is. I really do. And I know I've said that before. But, God, how does she treat her patients? I think she's nasty. I'm sorry. I think she's nasty. I think that Amber is a nasty person too. I think she's not a nice person, and she is seriously manipulative, but come on.
It's true. What everybody says is true. And, I fell victim to this. It was not supposed to go as far as it did. So the day I found out,
it wasn't supposed to go that far, but it did, and it wouldn't have if she didn't be like, if she wasn't like, yeah, hey, let's troll her for fun. Oh my God, we're so cute.
I called Amber, and I'm like, so how long has this been going on? I didn't tell her who I was. Obviously, I was calling from Erica's phone. She just spilled it. She was crying. I'm like, that with all of this stuff that I have, all these texts, all these pictures, this would be a circus for you. Like, I could, really make things really difficult for you if I wanted to. But I didn't. I didn't try to get any kind of retribution. I was not vengeful. I did not say anything out of the way to her. I was just like, please, look, this is it. Stop contacting my wife. This is it. Just be done. Don't message her anymore. So then she started messaging her, and I didn't know that until recently, after Erica had already blocked her number, blocked her everything. Apparently, she was still trying to have a relationship with Erica after all of that. Block me and then unblock me. Like, who wants to stay with someone like that? Like, how desperate do you have to be trying to chase after a married woman? Me and Erica have been married for 9 years. 9 years. And we're both normal people. We're not feeders. We're not crazy. We are just both normal people. So
normal people don't troll. Normal people who are therapists don't troll severely depressed, severely mentally ill, super morbidly obese, desperate women. Normal people that are therapists don't do that.
When I found out that Amberlynn had been trying to contact Erica, I called her and it was on the 4th of July. And I'm like, what else do I not know? Like, I specifically told you, do not contact. No means no. In the first conversation, she's like, oh, as much as, it's, crazy to say, I still want to remain friends with her. Like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? You want to remain friends with my wife who you just had an affair with, and you're literally telling me this to my face? Like, what kind of person does that? I really appreciate.
If the fact that she was married, even though that Erica told her, oh, but we live separately, we're separated, or whatever the case may be, if that wasn't a red flag enough, when she told me she was a hater, didn't like me or whatever before, I would be like, okay, I would take that as a red flag for sure too.
The fact that she calls me the crazy ex-wife, that's great. She knew I was never really an ex. I still lived in the house. She knew about our relationship the whole time. As you'll see when you hear the phone call.
You said at the beginning that you told Erica to say that, well, say we're married, but we live separately, or whatever the case was. It was some shit like that, some sneaky shit.
Appreciate being victimized over and over and over and over. Really makes you step back and think about
you were victimized.
People's mental health.
See, I love this. Like, she's like playing happy little victim when she made it jump off. She jumped it off. And she said, yeah, Erica, let's troll her.
And how destructive people are being. And I even coached her. I'm like, Amber, you really need to stop talking to people on the internet that you don't know, because you don't know these people. And lo and behold, she was talking to AKA Tommy the entire time she was talking to Erica. 16 hours after I caught the whole thing, Tommy was already with a plane ticket ready to haul ass to Oklahoma. So she was having multiple different relationships with multiple different people. I kind of see as Tommy also a victim. Tommy probably has no idea that Erica was even a thing the entire time they were talking. Oh, and by the way, let me add, I did not harass Amberlynn. The first phone call, she called me. Well, she thought she was calling Erica, but she was really calling me. And then the only time I even had contact with her was on July 4th. And that is all she has heard from me. And that was from me telling her to leave my wife alone. That's when the whole Tommy thing took place. And I was like, okay, good. This shit is over. And apparently not. So I guess since she can't get to Erica, she's just this is her way of trying to get retribution on that whole situation. I haven't watched any of the videos. This was from an anonymous source that was kind of the whistleblower on this whole situation, because I had no idea that any of this was going on. All I know is I got contacted today by one of the whistleblowers. And then lo and behold, there I am everywhere on everything, just out here trying to live a normal life. Unlike some people who are sitting on their couch and crazy. I mean, that's about it. So I would say, to sum it all up, Amberlynn had an imaginary relationship with a person that she absolutely did not know. And now she's just using that to make money. And how she has subscribers sitting there, I don't understand people.
So as you can see here, Brittany claims that Amber allegedly cost her $2,400. I'm not sure how or why, but if that's a question you want answered, they should be going live at some point. Here's their channel.
She's a therapist, but
Brittany says, right. I have a recorded phone call with Amber debunking her lies about not knowing anything about me. Also, apparently during this phone call, Amber agrees not to make any videos about Erica.
Hello?
So who reached out to who?
Huh?
So who reached out to who?
What do you mean?
Did you reach out to Erica, or did she reach out to you?
When?
What do you mean when?
Like for the very first time?
The last time you spoke to her.
The last time I messaged her was just letting her know that, like, you called, and then pretty much just like the final goodbye type thing.
Why would you reach out to her again?
It was just like the final goodbye.
There's no.
I just felt like
There's no final goodbye. Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. There's no final goodbye. The person's married. They're allegedly in a happy marriage and stuff. You just leave it alone. Leave the person alone, Amber. Just end it. Forget about it.
I felt like I needed to, but we don't talk anymore. We haven't talked since the phone call.
So even after I told you not to contact her again, you still did. Why?
Because it was like I wanted closure, and then not only that, but like she contacted me, I would say, I don't know, less than a week ago, like upset about some TikTok I posted, and I never responded.
So you mean to tell me you're not posting anything about her online?
No one knows her name, nothing about her. Nope. That is something that I told her I would never do.
I don't understand. Like no means no.
Huh?
No means no. Like no means no.
Yeah, that's correct. That is why I do not speak to her any longer.
I just don't understand. Like, you have an entire relationship with somebody you don't know, that you know is married. Like, what do you think is gonna come out of that? Like, that's the part I don't understand. To keep reaching out, like, I don't get it.
I didn't keep reaching out. I reached out the one time as a way of like a weird closure thing, because she did become like a really good friend of mine as well, on top of everything else. I was losing that, and that kind of like was rough.
So what did you say to her for your closure that you needed? I'm really curious.
Well, I haven't gotten like a full closure thing. I kind of just realized it's not going to happen. But
like, how long did it take you to realize that it's not going to happen?
It took me a long time. Actually, I'm being honest. Yeah.
The part that's got me up is that A, you knew about me. B, you were looking me up on Instagram. That shit is fucking creepy.
Right. I thought that you guys were married for financial reasons. So.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. That is what she originally said, yes. And that you guys weren't in love anymore. And you guys, I mean, it's like, I don't really know.
So I kind of skimmed through the text.
Yeah, I understand that. I would have done the same thing.
Like, do you know how demented it is to tell somebody that's married not to have sex with their spouse? Like, do you know how crazy that sounds?
Like I said, I thought you guys were just married for financial reasons.
You really need help. Like,
if that was true, like, she thought they were just together for financial reasons, she would have had no reason to tell her to not have sex with her, which is a completely off the wall, crazy, insane, batshit thing to say to somebody, but
really need help.
Probably.
Definitely.
So I expect not to see any more videos.
Correct.
No more, nothing. Not a word, not a peep.
And I absolutely respect that.
I thought you respected that the other day when I told you, do not call, do not reach out. None of that.
I did that one time, and I want you to know, like, I had, like, there was an open line of communication that I did not take.
On YouTube.
Because I was respecting you, and I was respecting myself and the people in my life.
Double life.
So that's why I literally did not reply to her message.
And Amberlynn should have ended it like the second she found out the person was married, even though they were saying they live separately or whatever. That's when it should have ended. But Amberlynn is so not die hard, but desperate as hell to be in a relationship that she will put up with anything. And I don't know if y'all remember this, but I remember some time back, maybe not that long ago, that she would never get involved with a married person. Never, ever, ever. And according to Erica and Brittany, Erica isn't the only married person Amber was talking to. I don't know who I can believe because honestly, I don't trust any of these people. I don't trust Amber. I don't trust Brittany, and I don't trust Erica. I don't trust them. I don't trust Brittany because she's a therapist. She pulled this trolling shit. I think that's dirty. It's sociopathic.
Like, I don't know what she's telling you versus me. Erica is obviously a known cheater and liar. I finally have my rose-tinted glasses completely off. Like, she's crazy, and she knows it, and I'm sure you do too. I got roped into shit. Like, I just want the best for the both of you, and I hope that you guys find that with each other. Like, I don't really know what else to do or say anymore at this point. Like, I apologize. I was very sorry. I don't really know what else to do from this point forward.
A known cheater and liar. Did she tell you about that?
Yeah. Yes, she did.
All right.
But yet I was supposed to be different. You know how it goes. So I mean, I have answered
Don't get on that.
to the best of my ability.
I would really.
Like, I feel like she played me. What?
Yeah, she played you hard, like a fiddle.
Yeah.
Nope.
And it's crazy to me.
That's what I
Like,
said.
she sacrificed.
No.
Forced agreement for me and her to be in a relationship. And so I was like, what
have you
would
done?
this relationship be? And she was like, just more loyal.
Today when I told you.
And we were just friends.
Don't step on that.
I don't know if
No.
she was mistaken it the whole time because she needed someone. I don't really know. I don't understand.
This is going to be another YouTube video for her. Thank you.
I don't either, because I'm pretty successful. I'm pretty smart. I'm not bad looking.
Oh,
Like,
I mean, that's one thing that Erica definitely did say about you. You're very smart, all of that good stuff. So I believe it.
okay.
So
It makes you wonder why she go looking somewhere else, don't it?
I mean, yeah, honestly, some people just can't stay with one person. I don't know why. Like, I am beyond disgusting and loyal. Like, I stopped talking to several of my friends for her because she didn't even want me talking to them. But yet she had a whole life. Like, that she had an actual marriage with. Like, that's.
I just don't understand. Like, you talk about double lives and but you knew about it the whole time. Wouldn't that be you living a double life as well?
Well, I didn't find out until a long time after her and I were talking that you would actually consider it cheating, because for a long time she told me that you had a whole different relationship you were in and that you were living there. Like, Erica said a lot of lies. Like, she can go and delete the messages because I'm not a screenshot taker, but it's all there. I haven't deleted a single thing on my end. And then it was literally just a couple months ago where we had this whole like talk where I was like, I'm gonna get to ask you whatever question because I felt in my gut something was wrong. And something was off, something just seemed weird, like she was lying to me. So I said, we're gonna have a discussion where you're gonna answer every single question that I have and you're gonna answer it honestly.
So that's where the video ends, and that's about all the tea I have for you today. I'm sure I'll see you in the comments section.
So that's it. So yeah, I know I mostly blamed Brittany in the video because, I mean, like I said a million times, she facilitated it. She was like on board with the trolling, and it just went in a direction she didn't want it to go. But, you know, if you're going to do shady shit's going to happen. Right, Alan? Okay, Alan, thank you. But yeah, so I just think they're all messed up. I think Amberlynn needs to stop hooking up with people she meets on the internet. She needs to work on herself because we've been watching this for a long time, and this is just I thought she was in one of her cycles, but I see her now kind of on a downward spiral. And if she doesn't get some mental health care, like intense mental health care, and she may even need to be admitted somewhere, but she has problems and she needs to explore why she's so desperate to be in a relationship and work through those issues, not just understand why she has to be in a relationship, but figure out how to deal with it so she doesn't feel the need to be in a relationship at all times. I'm sorry, Alan is trying to step on my computer again. He's getting ready to knock the camera over, but I love him so much. But anyway, that's it. I know this was a really long video, but I'm going to link Apathetic Faxx's video in the About section. Please go check it out. You can watch the whole thing without me talking over it. So, do you hear his motor going? Can you hear it? He's always purring. He's always purring. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to everyone later. Bye. Alan? Hi, Alan. Hi, baby. Yes, hello. Hello, dear.